Hello, well no, have an I and a Y, because you listen to Mission Nutrition. And in this video we'll discuss the so-called vitamins C and D, like the exotic vitamins, as I would call them. So yeah, in these videos of mine I discuss these nutrients, their main functions and the sources of highest quality available to us. And so when it comes to vitamin C, it's basically an antioxidant with many important functions, such as proper iron absorption and resistance to infections. And the sources of highest quality available to us. Well, also let me mention that these sources that I'm about to mention now are in direct reference to the recommendations of Dr. Sebi. Rest in peace. And these sources, although like damn near all fruit is very like all fruit has vitamin C. It's just in different amounts. Like if you eat decent amounts of fruit, you will be all right. It's actually, I don't understand how certain people can be vitamin C deficient. That's crazy to me. Just eat your fruit. We should all eat our fruit and we will be perfectly all right. Fruit is like the best things we can consume. It electrifies us, it alkalizes us, and it should be consumed on empty stomach. And it's like end of discussion. Eat your fruit, preferably on empty stomach. No, not preferably. Eat it on empty stomach, because if you eat it on top of like having eaten cooked food, it just ferments and like causes gases and acidity. Actually, it's supposed to alkalize us, not cause acidity. So yeah. I'm not gonna be too diplomatic. Eat your goddamn fruit on empty stomach, please. Alright, so however, these sources with the highest content of vitamin C, according to my research, that seems to be papaya, mango, blackcurrants, and oranges. And let's throw in lettuce also, although it's not that high maybe, but it is high, and it's something green, something fresh and green. So yeah, those are the sources for vitamin C. And then we have vitamin D. The functions of vitamin D it has many different and important functions, such as proper absorption of calcium and phosphate for healthy bones and teeth. But vitamin D, honestly, it's a stupid word. Like, that's really an artificial word. That we can definitely say. How can you put such a vitamin D on something as profound as the sunlight? If anything, it should be called that should be called vitamin A, I guess. The first vitamin, or vitamin zero, I don't know. Vitamin D, completely random. Or there's maybe some reason to it that I don't know about, but I just find that strange. So yeah, and it's important that it's when we're talking about vitamin D, as we will have to call it for now, it's D3 that is the type of D vitamin that we're looking for. D2 is found in mushrooms, for instance, probably other sources also, but it's not really as I've understood, it's D3 that's what we require, what we need. And so, well, when it comes to like the approved sources of vitamin D in reference to Dr. Sebi, it's only the sun. There's, I mean, nothing could ever replace the sun. So yeah, that's what it is. However, this is my own recommendation though. I personally take supplement, D3 supplement. Now it's mirrored, but anyway, it's vegan D3 extracted from lichen or lichen. English is my second language, but yeah, lichen, it's like that moss, like that type of crispy moss that can be found on rocks. It's yeah, that these supplements are made from those from that crispy moss, lichen, and yeah. So that's my take on these so-called vitamins. And yeah, and then we also I think there was something more I wanted to mention, but I'll add it in the end then. Anyway, yeah, I think that's all for now, really. And oh, let me just mention, yeah, that's what I wanted to mention. Although this is not anything like, has nothing to do with what I'm like, the topics, like as the title mentions, like plant-based, vegan, or Dr. Sebi. However, if we're just speaking like living natural, if like no supplements, although I don't say certain supplements can be natural. I call this semi-natural. Don't really call this natural like that. But if you are to live just like, if you want to live like, yeah, like our ancestors did basically, then I would say also when it comes to, because yeah, I mean, I just feel like it's worth to mention because we're speaking about like being natural here. And one source of vitamin D, D3 more specifically, that is like very high in vitamin D is fish. Yes, and that's what I would say also, like if you are to eat meat at all, fish is what you should go for. However, in these days they're so full of mercury, except if they're like here in Sweden, we can get some fish from by the way, I don't eat fish. I might try it just for experimenting sometime in the future, but probably not. We will see. But yeah, it's caught from northwestern Iceland, and in North America, I believe the most popular like fish is like wild caught salmon from the Alaska region. That's high. That has high amounts of vitamin D, and I believe also like certain other like seafood in general. You know, so if you want to live natural like that, that's what you should go for, especially if you're living up here in the northern regions of the world. But yeah, that's all for now. I'm in a 5-day cleansing process actually. Yesterday I was dry fasting. Today I've been drinking some pure spring water that I got myself from the woods in this glass bottle. I also got some more here, and I had some fresh ginger tea, organic and fresh ginger tea made with distilled water. And now I'm about to dive into my favorite melon, this Piel de Sapo melon, also known as Christmas melon or Santa Claus melon. But yeah, it's gonna be real good. And this also has, like, I eat this baby and I will not need to worry about any vitamin C deficiency for sure. Although that didn't make it to the list, but that's what I mean. Just eat your fruit and you'll be good on empty stomach, please. All right. So yeah, this video turned much longer than what I expected, but I think I've covered everything now. So yeah. Yeah. Despite this video being so long already, I did forget to mention two things, and that is, well, first of all, vitamin C. Yeah, there are more sources for vitamin C. Like most vegetables also contain decent amounts of vitamin C. Like kale, for instance, very high amounts. But why I don't recommend that really is because vitamin C is very heat sensitive. So if you cook it, yeah, it's yeah, because you have to cook kale to eat it, and most other vegetables. I eat vegetables cooked. I don't eat them raw like that, and so that's why I don't call them good sources for vitamin C, basically, although they do contain it in its raw form. Right, and when it comes to vitamin D, like, I know vitamin D is not sunlight itself. Vitamin D is what's being formed when our skin comes into contact with sunlight. That's being formed, vitamin D. However, I still think that it's a very ridiculous word. So yeah, I just needed to clarify that. But now we're all good. Yeah, eat your fruits, spend time in the sun, and stay blessed and nurtured. Peace.